Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Leah Swain. I'm CSO of Certum Solutions, and today I just want to discuss the what's, whys, and hows of siloed data. So if your immediate thought isn't, ew, what? No, let's not talk about that, then you know where I'm coming from. If your immediate thought was not that, and it was in fact, wait, what are we talking about? Siloed data? Then you've come to the right place. So silo data, for anybody not familiar, it is a reference to silos like you would have on a farm that hold silage and keep different types of grains and corns apart so that they can ferment properly and produce proper feed for the animals. Great for a farm, terrible for a business. So today we're going to talk about how does silo data happen? What does it do? Why is it bad? And how do we fix it? What can we do to make it better? Some examples of such and just overall information on how to improve it and avoid it and what to do to clean it up if you have it. We're going to use an example today. We'll talk about a company, we'll call it Data Chaos. It started up many years ago. Initially, it was a small business and they just had financial software working out of Excel, but now they've added on maybe a CRM. Okay, so the CRM is great. It does kind of integrate with their financial software, but not really. They're having some trouble tracking opportunities through into their financials. And we'll see how that problem grows as we go forward. So I guess first, we've already talked about what siloed data is. So imagine having your marketing in one software, your quotations in one software, your CRM in one software, your financials in one software, and some of them may integrate, but not fully. That causes different stages of data through your whole sales process, your business process, if you do construction, project services, things of that nature, having all of those datas separate with different logins where you're having to have a team who works in that software, but also reports that data back to a central organization or central team member who analyzes that data. Obviously, that's a problem, right? So data chaos is going through this. Siloed data obviously reduces efficiency. When data is scattered, it's harder to access it. It's harder to analyze it. It makes decision-making difficult because not all team players have the same data points to look at to make a solid decision internally. So data chaos, same thing. Our marketing person, Marcia, she is trying to figure out what marketing material is working best. Are they getting most of their opportunities from social? Are they getting most of their opportunities from employee referrals? Where are all of our opportunities coming through? Because right now with data chaos, we're kind of seeing a slowdown on our opportunities closing. So, Miss Mello, our marketing person, is looking to see where that's coming from. So she reaches out to Mrs. Book, who is in control of the CRM data. And she says, hey, Rita, what's going on with our opportunities? Why are we seeing a slowdown? And Rita says back, Marcia, it's great you asked that. We've sent out a ton of quotations this month. There's been 50 quotations sent out just on Tuesday alone. I'm not sure what's going on there. Marcia says, okay, well, that's great information. I can report back that we've got, 50 quotations out. That's fantastic. And I see that in the CRM that we sent out 50 quotes. Let me reach out to Barb and maybe Barb can tell me some more information as to why these quotes aren't closing. So she reaches out to Barb and Barb says, hey, that's great. I was talking to Rita the other day and, we did get all those quotes out, but I'm not really sure what happened with them, why nobody purchased. I'm not sure, but maybe I'll get with Rita and we'll see. Miss AQ goes back to Rita and says, hey, I sent out those 50 quotes, but I don't know what's going on with them. They haven't closed. And so they look at it together. And after about 20 minutes, Rita realizes that they had transposed some information in some of the emails. Some of the quotes were for the wrong product and it wasn't actually what the customer was interested in. Because the data in the quoting tool was separate from the data in the CRM tool, it had to be manually entered. Those two did not integrate. After a period of time, they go back to Marcia and they say, okay, we found the issues. There was some duplication issues. Well, right there, you're seeing your reduced efficiency, right? Marcia is looking all over for what is causing the slowdown. and why these opportunities aren't closing. Rita has sent them over to Barb for the quotes to be built. Unfortunately, when she keyed in the data, it was an error, and Barb didn't know because she doesn't work in the CRM. Now they've had a 20-minute conversation and they've reported back to Marcia, but all of that time could be saved if you could quote from your CRM. That should be an obvious. Check one, efficiency is a major issue. Poor collaboration, right? We just saw that with data chaos. Data silos prevent teams from sharing information and working together, and it hinders collaboration and innovation. So Marcia is still trying to figure out which data source is the best for their opportunities. She can't tell from her seat, she can see all the marketing opportunities that are going over to the CRM. She can't see in the CRM how many of those are turning out to be solid opportunities. She can't see in the quotation tool how many people are actually opening up their quotes, how much time they're spending on our quotes, because her data is all siloed in marketing. She just can't see it. The inconsistent data that was pulled because of the manual entry, reducing integrations, and you don't have that seamlessness, but you also open the door for data entry errors. What one person might perceive as well, might not just be the entry errors. It could be Anne is looking at data and she sends that over to Barb, and Barb's like, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't read it that way. Let me take another look at it. When you don't have the access to see every part of the process, you don't have the ability to collaborate on it or to come up with solutions for issues. Miss Chovy told Barb, yeah, please do take a look at it. Let me know what you see. Having to switch back and forth between softwares and making sure that every employee understands each software that you're using, if it's all integrated and seamless in one solution, like a full ERP. If you've seen my Odoo videos, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go watch those. When you have all of your data in one solution and seeing the integration and the seamlessness of how that data drives from one point to another without the manual entry and without having to sit down and take the time to physically do it, it's amazing to see how much time that saves for your team, how much you get back, plus the cost itself of different software sources to integrate together. If you're just paying for one and it has all of this functionality, then you're going to be saving a fortune anyway. As I said, inconsistent data, duplication of data across silos causes inconsistencies, which makes it difficult to view the whole picture. Data chaos is right in the middle of that. Missed opportunities. Limited data access can prevent organizations from identifying trends, opportunities, and making data-driven decisions. Marcia can't decide if she wants to continue paying for opportunities from her lead source. Maybe she's purchasing leads. If she's looking to purchase leads and she's not following up with the CRM to say, oh, okay, wait a minute, these aren't moving forward, she doesn't know if those are turning out well. Looking at trends as far as what in general customers are looking for. If you're running a marketing business, let's say, and customers are suddenly not looking at social media anymore. They don't want marketing through social media. Maybe they're trending over to marketing through billboards, or doing cold calling is working out better for them. If you're not analyzing those trends because you don't have the whole picture, because you don't have all data sources, then you're really losing out on opportunities to see, okay, this trend, we need to get in front of this trend. We need to make sure that we have somebody who's familiar with cold calling available so that they can answer questions for our customers. Again, the increased cost alone caused by the duplication of the data, moving information from, let's say someone signs their quote, and now you have to go back to your CRM and mark down that they've made a purchase, but then go into your financials and send out the invoice, and then turn around and go over to your project software in order to build out that opportunity for the project board, and then go over to create tasks in the project board for all of your employees, and then go somewhere else to make sure that those tasks are assigned to the right team members under your task list, and then tying that over to your payroll. If you look at all of these individual data points, if those aren't talking to each other, that is a lot that your team is missing out on in time when they have to manually enter those themselves. And then lastly, of course, just the overall compliance issues and reporting issues that siloed data is going to generate for you. If it's tax season and you need to go in and find out what sales tax you had for your customer, but your customer detail is in your CRM, which is over here, and you need to go over to your CRM to pull that data in to match your customers, to match your taxes, to match your sales, to match your financials, that is going to take a lot more time than clicking a button on a software that has all of this data in one place. So, as I said, siloed data is gross. It can be fixed. Certum Solutions is here. We got you. We will help you work through that. And we're more than happy to take a look at what you've got and see where we can streamline, what we can do, how to make it better for you. That's what we're here for. So if you have any questions, if you're interested in discussing this more, please definitely do like and share this video for your friends and neighbors. Again, I'm sure my wonderful marketing person, Megan, is going to pop up a whole thing. Leave a comment for other questions that you might have regarding accounting and financial softwares. I'd be happy to address those in future videos. And as always, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for meeting with me today.